Oh, it's too bright. Good morning, Van Fam. So we are coming to you from a Cracker Barrel parking lot. We found a great spot right next to a dumpster. And in this video, we're going to tell you all about the van life realities that we wish someone had told us before moving into a van.
Stumbling home, we don't know where we're going. Should've turned back.
This is the reality of van life. You think you get a nice quiet spot, you really park next to a really loud truck. Alright, time to walk the pooch.
So one of the realities of our van is that we have a small black tank. So when we can, we use other bathrooms, including Cracker Barrels. That's one of the nice things about sleeping in a Cracker Barrel parking lot, is that they open pretty early, so you can go ahead and take care of business when you need to. The other nice thing is they have some nice rocking chairs in the front that you can hang out in.
Out of our minds, I guess we're sleeping outside.
Alright, so we just used the bathroom, thank you Cracker Barrel, and now we are headed to the beach. And that's usually our daily routine when we're in Florida. We'll sleep in like a Cracker Barrel parking lot and then wake up and spend the rest of the day at the beach. So we are here at Blue Heron Bridge right now, one of our favorite spots on the east coast of Florida. And I'm just sitting here on the water, the van's back there, having some breakfast. And man, moving into a van, I didn't realize how many different breakfast views I'd have, and this one's just gorgeous.
Guess we need a new plan. There's a motel a mile down the road. Finally can stand, back then still looking for land.
So one van life reality that I wish I had known before moving into a van is feeling like you don't have a home base. You know, when you live in a van full time, you're always traveling, and every smell and sight, you know, and sound is different and new, which is totally amazing. But sometimes you yearn for that feeling of home that you get. You know, when I used to live in Brooklyn, I got used to the sounds and the vibe of my neighborhood. So coming back home, there was always a sense of just feeling like you have this home base, and there's a comfort with that. So one thing that we've tried to do in the van is make little home bases around the country, you know, finding spots that we love, that we get comfortable in and can fall into a routine in. And Blue Heron Bridge is definitely one of those spots. So we always come back here just to recharge and feel at home. Hey babe, what's one van life reality that you wish you had known before moving into a van?
It's a small space for two people to live in. Also, why is a whole parking lot completely empty and the person has to park right next to us? Why do people always do that?
This always happens to us.
It's some sort of psychology.
A full empty parking lot, and literally on either side, people just park right next to us. It's ridiculous. Now, Paul isn't kidding when he says the van is a really small space for two people. So I can actually touch both sides of the van, standing in the middle. It's a really small space. You can see here's Paul's bed, here's the bathroom, and here's the kitchen. Paul's bed, bathroom, kitchen. It's a really tight space to live in together. So if you have dreams of moving into a van as a couple, I would definitely have a plan in place for you and your partner or significant other to survive, because it's not all sunshine and daffodils. It's gonna be trying, but once you get it together and you figure out a system, your relationship's gonna be much stronger for it. Now, living in a van certainly has its challenges, but working in a van is even more difficult. First of all, you have to figure out your Wi-Fi situation, make sure you're always connected, so that impacts where you're going and the places that you're visiting, but also just in terms of workspace, it can be really tough. So Paul is up front working right now in the chair over there, which means that if I have work I need to do or some calls I need to take, I have to work in the back office, which certainly is not as glamorous. But it gets the job done. Again, not ideal. I kind of miss my old desk at work where I had a big layout, nice computer, I could write reports in, and now I'm kind of crammed in the back here. But you do what you can, and it's always worth it. So one of the best things about Blue Heron Bridge is it's actually one of the top beach dives in the country. And we don't have space for all of our diving equipment in the van, so we have our cute little fins.
Thanks to my brother Alex for that gift.
But if you want to scuba dive, there are some dive shops that can rent you out some gear.
All right, let's get in the water. Well, we're calling it short. The visibility was really bad. You couldn't even see 10 feet to the bottom, which is fine if you're diving, but if you're snorkeling, you can't see the bottom. You can't see anything. But I did find a whistle. Got a free whistle.
So that did not go according to plan. It was a pretty bad dive. Visibility was so bad we wound up cutting it short. But sometimes it happens with van life. You have these awesome adventures planned and they just don't go your way. All right, some other van life realities of note are cooking and cleaning. So I had this dream that I was going to be cooking meals every night, and it started off that way, right? Like I made chilies and curries all the time, and the cooking's actually not an issue in here. It's really the cleaning that's terrible. You know, once you cook everything in a pot and it's kind of gross and has all these crusty bits in it, what do you do with that? You know, if we were in a house, we could run the faucet, clean it out, run it in a dishwasher, which would be super luxe. But here we don't have a ton of water to use and we have to conserve it, so we wind up using a little squirt bottle to squirt it a little bit, and then we rub it out really hard and put a little bit of soap in there and squirt it again, and it never gets totally clean. So that's why we mostly just assemble and microwave when cooking.
Yeah, and it got especially hard to cook when we got down to Florida, where it's hotter. Yeah. Because the whole van just heats up. So we don't really do that much cooking unless we happen to be with some friends and maybe we do like a potluck and this is the last time you cook.
And then we just pretend we cook like that all the time, but it's really just for them.
And speaking of which, another reality of van life or challenge has been socializing with people. In the one regard, we've seen it's actually more suited to our lifestyle because we tend to be more homebodies and we don't socialize a ton, but we are humans, we need to socialize. So what we found is that people we meet on the road, we have this instant connection with, and it's been really great meeting some fantastic people while traveling. And then the pandemic hit, and then we didn't feel comfortable being near anyone for a while, and that was really, really tough for 6 or 7 or 8 months until things kind of, you know, we felt a little bit more comfortable being somewhat close to people. So that's been another big challenge for us as well, and just kind of specific to this time period as well.
Yeah. What about all the breakdowns and getting it fixed? That's rough too, huh?
Yeah, so you know going into this that there are going to be problems with your van, that you'll need to bring it in to be serviced.
Houses are not meant to shake.
Yeah,
and ours shakes every day.
Yeah. But what you may not realize or think of is that when your van that you live in is in the service shop, you've got nothing. You don't have a home and you don't have a car. So you can go nowhere, and there's nowhere for you to really go either. It's very, very kind of puts you, like, it kind of takes you out of your element. You're like, what do I do? Like, where do I go?
Yeah.
And so if it's something that has to be done overnight, we'll get a hotel. So then that's kind of like we're treating ourselves. So that kind of makes up for it. But at first, it's kind of like shocking. Like, whoa, this is like my whole home's in the shop.
Yeah, it's also really upsetting when like something happens to the van, or maybe they're doing some work on it and then something gets messed up a little bit. And if it were a car, it would be upsetting. But for us, it's like our home, so it just has this emotional component to it. When, you know, we get in a fender bender or something happens to the van, it's like crushing.
Yeah, definitely.
But if you're thinking about moving into a van, one thing I would definitely think about is what you want to use it for. For us, the size of this van is perfect because we mostly boondock, so we want to go into cities and park overnight, you know, in parking lots or in the mountains, in the woods. But I think if we were more prone to staying in campsites for longer periods of time, we'd probably get something bigger, like a Class C or even a Class A, but that might be too much.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's a good point. Good suggestion.
Any other van life realities to share?
Just realize that everything you see on Instagram, all those photos out the back of the van with the amazing view and them drinking coffee on their beautiful white sheets, just you will get those days, but not most of the days. Many days we are just in a parking lot. And
every once in a while I'll try putting on a skimpy bikini and playing some of my ukulele, but it just doesn't work out. And we are back home in our Cracker Barrel parking spot for the night. And I think that about does it for this vlog. So if you liked what you saw, or if you just thought it was alright, feel free to comment, subscribe, like this video, and tune in for more questionable van life content. And who knows, maybe next week we might be going live again for a Thanksgiving special. So stay tuned.